In the quiet Bavarian countryside of Germany, nestled among acres of cold farmland, stood a lonely homestead, Hinterkaifeck, a place so silent even the wind seemed afraid to speak. But one spring evening in 1922, something happened on that farm, something so unexplainable, so haunting, that the land still feels cursed to this day. 6 people went to sleep inside the farmhouse. None would ever wake up, and even now, more than a century later, people swear they can still hear the echo of their footsteps in the snow. The Gruber family, Andreas, his wife Gazilia, their daughter Victoria, her 2 children, and their maid, lived simple lives, far removed from the chaos of the world beyond. But neighbors often whispered that something about Hinterkaifeck wasn't right. Andreas had complained of hearing footsteps in the attic, yet when he searched, there was no one there. Days before the murders, the family found footprints leading from the forest to their home, but none returning. Their house keys went missing. Strange noises echoed at night. Even their old newspaper appeared on the doorstep from a town miles away. The maid, terrified, quit her job, saying the house was haunted. A new maid arrived only one day before the massacre. That night, an icy wind swept through the fields, bending the trees as if nature itself tried to warn them. Inside the barns, the cows grew restless, and then silence. Days passed. The mail piled up. The children never came to school. A group of neighbors decided to investigate. When they stepped into the barn, they found the bodies, 4 of them, brutally killed, hidden beneath straw. Each skull had been crushed with a mattock, a farming tool. Inside the house, they found the maid and the youngest child, dead in their beds. But what terrified investigators most wasn't the crime, it was what happened after. For days after the murders, smoke rose from the chimney. Someone had fed the animals, eaten meals, and even tidied the house. Whoever killed the Grubers stayed there, lived there, among the dead. Every door was locked from the inside. The dog barked endlessly but wasn't harmed. Even stranger, the family had left money untouched in plain sight. There was no robbery, no sign of forced entry, only quiet precision, as if the killer knew them well. Suspects came and went over the decades. One theory suggested Victoria's late husband, supposedly dead in the war, had returned for revenge. Another whispered that her father, Andreas, had dark secrets and that someone from the village wanted them silenced. Some believed a drifter had stumbled upon the farm, others swore it was something else entirely, something not human. Visitors to Hinterkaifeck after its demolition claim the land feels alive. Cameras malfunction, voices echo through recordings. Locals avoid walking near the site after dark. If you listen closely, you can still hear the soft thud of footsteps in the attic and the sound of a door creaking open when no one is there. No one was ever convicted. The murder weapon vanished. Even the skulls of the victims, sent for forensic testing, disappeared. It's as though the case wanted to remain unsolved. Over a century later, the story still chills Germany's rural heart and those who dared to visit the place where the whispers began. Because Hinterkaifeck is more than a murder scene, it's a warning. Some say the Gruber's family spirits never left. Others say the killer never did either. So if you ever find yourself alone on a quiet German road and the wind suddenly stops, listen closely, because the land remembers.